Hello class, hello viewers, welcome to Mr. Marashani online lessons. Today we are going to revise some of the questions in geography that we are expecting to come in geography paper 2 November 2024. Okay, so obviously in this paper I'm going to do a breakdown on this space. So we are expecting that in section A, we are going to see weather and climate. In section A, we are going to see weather and climate. And in section B, I said weather and climate. Then also we are going to see ecosystem here. Ecosystem. And in section B, we are going to see agriculture. We are also going to see mining, yes, and also industry in this part. Okay, right. And in section C, we are going to have population and settlement. Population and settlement. We are also going to see trade. We are also going to see environmental management. So please, I want you to listen to me. After listening to this video, you are going to see that unenge were able to answer those topics in section A, those topics in section B, and those are topics in section C. And the instruction from Zimsek is simple. You are going to answer one question in section A, one question in section B, one question in section C, okay? And any other question from any section, okay? So this is it. So I'm going to teach you how to answer those parts. So I'm going to do revision on ecosystem, revision on agriculture, mining, industry, population settlement, trade, and other topics and environmental management. Okay, so this is it. So let's start now. We are going to start with ecosystem. After doing ecosystem, you are going to see that it will be very easier for you to now answer ecosystem. Okay, there is a video that I uploaded on weather and climate. Just go and check that one. Panama possible questions there, Panama notes, Panama lesson, Panama questions are Panama possible questions. So you go there and listen to that video. So on weather and climate, I'm not going to do anything, but allow me to go through what we call ecosystem. All right, the question that I have here on ecosystem, it says draw a labeled diagram to show the energy and nutrient flow in an equatorial rainforest ecosystem. So first of all, before I go any further, let me show you what we call equatorial rainforest ecosystem, so that unoiziva kuti yakamira sei. Let me just show you what we call equatorial rainforest ecosystem. So this is equatorial rainforest. As you can see, what are you seeing here? You can see that in equatorial rainforest, there are very tall trees. Very tall trees. What is the reason for very tall trees? This is for competition for what? For sunlight. Okay, it's for competition for sunlight. You can see it. Very tall trees, very tall trees. Let me show you other pictures for this one. Okay, right, you can also see this picture again. If you check very closely, you're going to see that in equatorial rainforest, there is the evergreen forest. Evergreen forest. Why queen evergreen forest? Is because of abundance of nutrients in these regions. Anenge aine high temperatures and high rainfall throughout the year. Okay, this is tropical equatorial rainforest ecosystem. Let me show you the savanna, and also I'm going to show you the hot desert. Okay, so as you can see, this is savanna ecosystem. What are the characteristics of savanna ecosystem? It is characterized by spaced trees. As you can see, this tree is here and there's another tree here. So my trees in savanna, they are spaced. There is also abundance of wildlife. As you can see, abundance of wildlife. Why we need abundance of wildlife? It's because there is favorable climatic conditions. Okay, and also my trees in savanna, they are umbrella shaped. As you can see, this one is umbrella shaped. Okay, so unogona kupiwa this picture once you describe the scene in the photograph. So they can also ask you to describe the scene in the photograph. Andika, to describe the background, what describe up front, what you are observing. Those are not truths. So one my animals, my trees, grass, tirikuona my hills, tirikuona chimwe chicha tirikuona. Anything. Just to tell us what is on the screen. So this is savanna ecosystem. Okay, let me show you another picture again. My umbrella shaped trees. All right, you can actually see this tree. This is an umbrella shaped tree. This one. Okay, why are in my umbrella shaped trees? To conserve underground water. To conserve underground water. Okay, so let's try to answer that question. So the question says, draw a labeled diagram to show the energy and nutrient flow in an equatorial rainforest ecosystem. So obviously I'm going to draw something like this. All right. So you're going to draw something like this. Here we are going to have biomass. And here we're going to have liter. Here we are going to have weathered rock. Okay, so unofana kuzozama kuti zviri kubva kupi zvichienda kupi. Tiri kubva from biomass. Okay, then from biomass toenda kuliter, and after liter we are going to have a weathered rock. Just these arrows zvinobatsira izvozvo unenge watodescribe it. You're going to get 5 marks. Maybe unoona kuzoexplainawo kuti from biomass process inoitika from biomass to liter, it is called leaf foliage. It is called leaf foliage. Then my leaves they become litter and anozokerwa from there achiendeswa achizodecompose all my minerals in the soil, all my weathered rocks and stuff like that. So chikitika panapa they are being lost through iyo runoff kind of surface runoff, loss by surface runoff. Okay, then achibva apa pachava nedecomposition of litter yoora, kana yaora then yopinda into weathered rock, then maweathered rock achabva atora maminerals aya anenge aitwa decompose from this process, because panapa kuti inonzi decomposition. Then aya anozobva aita inonzi leaching, downward movement emaminerals achienda from one point to another point. Right, so let us see what is happening here. Another question, they are saying describe the characteristics. Describe the characteristics. So this is the question. Describe the characteristics of the equatorial rainforest. Ndo patati paya paya ukaitarisa equatorial rainforest, you are going to see kuti kune ma very tall trees. Anditika very tall trees. Another characteristic ndeyekuti kune dense evergreen forest. Dense evergreen forest. Let me just explain that. So just to see, these are different pictures of what you call equatorial rainforests. Those are if you check very close, you are going to see that they are very, 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 very tall trees. Very tall trees. Just to see this. Very, very tall trees. These ones. Very tall trees. Very tall. So let me just use this one to explain. Very tall trees. That's number one. And also, if you check very closely, there is the dense evergreen forests. Dense evergreen forest. And if you check very closely, mune wide variety of plants. This plant, we have another one here. We have another one here. We have another one here. Part of variety of plants. And also kunzvimbo idzi kune high humidity, which means a high amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. And also kune high rainfall throughout the year. High rainfall throughout the year. And if you check kunzvimbo idzi kune little or no undergrowth. Little or no undergrowth. You check it on little or no undergrowth. And you know this one. Let us start with humidity ish. High amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. So you can see it for yourself. Right, little or no undergrowth. Let me show you. You can check this one and you can see what I'm talking about. Little or no undergrowth. Little or no undergrowth. Little or no undergrowth. Okay. Right. Other characteristics I want to go ma large variety of animals, large variety of insects, large variety of bird life. Okay. Mitiriko, they have broad leaves like this. They have broad leaves, broad leaves. And also kune high temperatures throughout the year. High temperatures throughout the year. So that's our characteristics of equatorial rainforest. Let me check a savanna and what desert. So this is the savanna. So I'm going to talk about my characteristics of the savanna ecosystem. So in savanna ecosystem, you are going to see kuti kune scattered trees, kune wide variety of wildlife, as you can see, wide variety of wildlife. And you can see there are moderate temperatures in this region, moderate temperatures. My temperatures are pakati nepakati, and also there is moderate rainfall throughout the year. Okay, chimwe chaunogona kuona kusavana ma tall grass, very tall grass, because the sunlight is reaching the what, the ground. Anditika chimwe chaunogona kuona kuma savana, it's actually presence of deciduous trees that reduces water loss. Unogona kuona ma small leaves, it reduces water loss. Miti dzine ma small leaves, as you can see here. All right, and also you can see kuti kune ma thick trunk to store water, thick trunk to store water, like the moyu plant, baobab tree. Okay, then also kusavana ukatarisa kuna anonzi thorn trees, that reduces transpiration, and also there are trees are kusavana, they have long taproots to reach water deep underground. So in case vanogona kubvunza about my characteristics of the savanna, not the tropical rainforest. So here you can see some of the ecosystems. So I want you to check. So this one is the tropical rainforest. Right? The tropical rainforest. Then we have what you call the temperate forest. This one. And we have the taiga, desert. As you can see, hakuna kana miti ndo yanga yasara. Ukumanje ndo kune ma very high temperatures throughout the year, low rainfall throughout the what? The year. And we have this, the tundra, we have the freshwater ecosystem, the marine ecosystem, and the savanna ecosystem, and grassland ecosystem. So you must understand my characteristics of each and every ecosystem shown here, and how each and every ecosystem is adapted to its function. Isu tataura pamusoro pezvemango ma ecosystem. Let us go back to our question. So let us continue. The next question, how do plants and animals adapt to the savanna or the tropical grassland environment? Now they are asking about the adaptation of the savanna ecosystem. Now you know the savanna ecosystem yakaita say. What are the adaptations? Pama adaptations, you must give the characteristic and also give us the reason why paine characteristic iyoyo. For example, number one, tataura kuti kune scattered trees in savanna, which means spaced trees. Why? To reduce competition for water and nutrients. That is number one adaptation. Number two adaptation is that my animals in savanna, they spend long periods without drinking water. For example, goats, because kuma savanna or tropical grassland kune ma moderate rainfall, saka kuna mvura yekuti inowanikwa pese pese. And also miti iriko ma plants in savanna, they have ma long taproots to reach water underground, to reach water underground, nekuti mvura inotinetse kusavana. And also another adaptation of the plants, that there are thorn trees, present of thorn trees, to actually reduce transpiration, and also kune presence of my deciduous trees to reduce water loss. And my plants in savanna, they have small leaves to reduce water loss again. So those are the adaptations. In that you're going to get 7 marks. Next question, study the diagram below. As you can see, there is the input X. There is input X. Okay. And there is a process Y. And there is a process Z. Alright. Let's see the question. Name the input X, the process Y, and Z. A process inoitika pa plants iri common is photosynthesis. I hope you are following. Is what? Is photosynthesis. But what is the input that is absorbed by plants for photosynthesis? It's carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Right. And after my plants get carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis, they will be now able to produce their own food. But after that, pane process inozodzika maybe imvura iri kudzika, maybe chi. That process is called infiltration. Kumwirira in Shona. Infiltration. What is infiltration? We are talking about the downward movement of water underground. So that is the process Y. And the process Z of returning back my nutrients achienda now ku plant. That is uptake. This one is called what? Uptake. Pane process yekuti vanogona kuzoti kudonha kwema leaves achidai, so inonzi leaf fall. Tabudoitaura musoro leaf fall. That process vanowanzo kuifarira iyoyo. Then also yekuti ma plants they are losing water, something that is transpiration. Okay, so this is it. Let us see another question. What is the importance of plants in an ecosystem? So you also kufunga kwapo unofunga ma plants mu ecosystem akakosherei. Do you know that by definition ecosystem is just a community of living and non-living organisms? A community whereby living biotic, that's what you call living, whereby living organisms, right, interact with the abiotic, well known as the non-living. You get the sense? So that's what you call an ecosystem. And my biotic components, we have my living, we have animals, we have my plants, we also have bacteria. Then kuma abiotic man living, we have soil, we have water, we have humidity, we have rocks, we have air. Yeah. Anditika. So unofana ngoziva kuti anonzi mabiotic, these are living things, for example animals and plants. Then ma abiotic, these are non-living things, for example soil, water, humidity, rocks, air, and stuff like that. So why are plants important in the ecosystem? Ecosystem being the community whereby the biotic and abiotic components depend on each other. Okay, so why are plants important? Number one, they provide food to other living organisms. Do you know kuti draw amongst ma food pyramid? You know, food pyramid. Let me just show you what you call food pyramids. Let me just show you food pyramids. My pyramid anengakareso. So at the bottom here, we must have my producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary, then decomposers. Okay. So aripanapa my producers are panopinda my plants. You see. So my plants in an ecosystem, they're important. Why? Because these are producers. They provide food to other living organisms like goats, like my animals, you see. Then here we're going to have my primary consumers. These ones in those producers. For example, Tokonongo is a locust. Then here we're going to have secondary. My secondary manje ndo anodywa locust. For example, we can put snake. Then here on tertiary we can put the eagle. Then on the last level of the pyramid, we are going to have decomposers. Ndo panopinda wana bacteria. Okay, so this one is eaten by this one, and at least this one is also eaten by this one, and this one is eaten by this one, and this one is eaten by this one. Okay, so what is the importance of my plants? Number one, we said they provide food to other living organisms, and also number two, contribute moisture to atmospheric processes, and also another important is that it decomposes to release my nutrients into the soil. Kuora kana akaora anoredza my nutrients into the soil, thereby improving soil fertility. And also my plants, they act as my carbon sinks. Do you know a carbon sink? A carbon sink, it is an environment that absorbs carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Saka kuabsorba carbon dioxide from the atmosphere nema trees kuno reduce inonzi global warming. Why? Because global warming is a result of the increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And also my plants, that body because they release oxygen. They release what? Oxygen through the process of what? Photosynthesis. And that oxygen then shines for my animals, including us. And also my plants reduce soil erosion. Reduce soil erosion, and they help my roots of the trees are binding the soil together. Binding the soil to what? Together. You get the sense? Okay, so on ecosystem, we are done with this topic. Let me teach you other things that you also need to know. So in the ecosystem, I'm going to share some of the questions that you need to understand. Okay, you must understand what you call wetlands. Are you following me? Wetlands. First of all, you have an understanding of what you call wetlands. My wetlands, these are areas with water that is static, which means water that is not moving, which means these are waterlogging areas. Do announce my wetlands. I don't want to waste time. Let me show you my wetlands kuti akamboita sei. So if you can check very closely, you can see what we call wetlands. Attribute my areas with water that is static or water that is gently flowing. As you can see, this is the first one. Let me show you another one. This one. These are wetlands, okay? Here in Zimbabwe. So ndoma threat mamwandosangana ecosystem ayo ekuti people they are going there and build their houses. You can see this is a wetland here, and people that are building here, these are threat to the wetlands. Those who could destroy my wetlands. So get ready kubvunzwa question of a threat to the ecosystem, to the wetland. You see, these are wetlands. Okay, these are wetlands here in Zimbabwe. Okay, another wetland here, another wetland here. Just to see for yourself. These are wetlands, as you can see. So to benefit from these wetlands, we actually grow water-loving crops, cereal crops, water-loving crops like banana rice. And these are wetlands. Just check it. Wetlands. You can see. Okay, so these are wetlands that we have in Zimbabwe. I want you to understand Chinombon's wetland, what you wanna, as you can see. These are wetlands that they are building in those wetlands. They don't even care. Just you see. Okay. So these are wetlands that you are looking at now. So we are going to have possible questions. Zinogona kubvunzwa on wetlands. So number one, they can ask you what is a wetland. What is a wetland, and also the importance of wetlands, especially in Zimbabwe. What is the importance of this thing here, wetland? What is the importance? Number one, they can help to filter pollutants. They can help to filter pollutants by trapping them and also absorbing them as nutrients. And also they trap silt eroded by rivers, which reduce the siltation of a river. So in other words, you're saying reduce siltation of rivers. And also wetlands they are breeding grounds for fish. So if we destroy wetlands, we are destroying the lives of fish. And also they are habitats, meaning these wetlands, they are habitats for animals and birds and also other things. And also they also help in terms of rain and gonna act as flood control, because my wetland they actually reduce my floods. They reduce my floods. They act as flood control. And also it is going to help to plant rice. Those are cereal crops, water loving crops. And also they are just nice to beautify the environment. Okay, the environment. So particularly issues, they actually beautify the environment, meaning my wetlands. You can see we have what you call the Okavango delta, or the Okavango wetland in Botswana. You can see it actually beautifies the environment. You can see how beautiful it is. Just check here. Just to see for yourself. Okay, so it's something nice. You can see again. This one is beautiful. So my wetlands also anogona kuvepo to just beautify the environment. To beautify the what? The environment. But because vanhu havasi kuita maintaining those wetlands, mamwe hazozobuda akanaka manje, okay? And also in geography ecosystem, you must also know about what is it? About food chains. You know, some food chains, food web, nema food pyramid. Pyramid ndo rakadai so, right? Then food chain ndo riya rekuti plant. Let me just say grass here. This is a food chain, is eaten by locust. Locust eaten by snake. Snake eaten by eagle. Eagle eaten by bacteria. You see, I can also represent the same information yandanyora on a food chain per food web. Kana kuti ndogona kuirepresenta futi pa food pyramid iri. Saka ndokudai so sera ndambodraw paya ndobva ndati grass ndore the bottom, this is the producer. From this one ndoenda pa locust. From locust eaten by snake. Snake eaten by the eagle. Eagle eaten by bacteria. So it depends on the question. If the question says draw a food chain, you draw a food chain like this. Draw a food pyramid. This is a food pyramid. Okay, food web ma sources of food akawanda, because my organisms they don't rely on one source of food. And this is ma grass cut grass panama. Grass is eaten by this one, eaten by this one again, eaten by this one. You see, is eaten by bird, is eaten by snake, is eaten by locust. Tozotiwo locust inodyiwawo nezvakawanda zvichingodaro. Do anozma food web. I think you get it there. Right, now let us talk about the importance of ecosystem in general, because those are other things zvavanogona kukubvunza in ecosystem. The importance of ecosystem in general. Why ecosystem is important? Number one, it is important because for photo shooting, right? So I'm going to show you one picture. The ecosystem like a forest. Why is the forest important? Then we can talk about that. So this is a good example of what you call an ecosystem. So what is the importance of having this? Okay, number one importance is that we are going to do hunting. Here we can do hunting. Another importance of ecosystem can do beekeeping. Mukoko, you know mukoko inyuchi. Right, we can also do photo shooting here. Photo shooting. We can also do what else? Right, extraction of timber. Then chimwe is oxygen. We get oxygen from ecosystem, and also fruits. Fruits gathering, and what else? What are the importance? Other importance there. So I said hunting, beekeeping, photo shooting, extraction of timber, oxygen, fruits gathering, tourism. Right, chimwe chatogona kuita hechi. What else? Besides tourism, what else? I think we have enough points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, these are the points. So these are the importance of ecosystems. But be careful, this ecosystem can be destroyed. You get the sense? This ecosystem can be what? Can be destroyed. So what are the human activities that can actually destroy the ecosystem? Number one, it's mining activities. Mining, right? Agriculture, right? What else? Mining, agriculture, deforestation, what else? Settlement development, or development of settlements. Chimwe road construction. Vanhu vakada kuisa nzira apa vakutotema miti. Handitika vakada kufirewood vakunotema miti, vakada kurima vakutema miti, vakada mining vanotanga vatema miti. Handitika zvese zvondo zviri kunodestroya ecosystem. Ndo human activities anogona kudestroy ecosystem. Mamwe futi industrial activities vanogona kupolluta air. Handitika. Right, and ecosystem inogona kuva degraded. Let me show you a degraded ecosystem. Right, so because of the mentioned human activities, the environment can be destroyed like this. What do you see here? I'm seeing a degraded environment. I'm seeing magalis. I'm seeing erosion taking place. I'm seeing an overgrazed land. You see? So this environment is destroyed already. So how do we restore such environment? How do we restore this environment? How do we restore this environment? How do we restore it? Okay, we can restore it through educational campaign. Kutodzidzisa vanhu chaiko, kutombadzisa kuti mochengetedza sei environment. That's number one. Kuvadzidzisa musanyanya kutema miti, shandisai other sources of energy. So that's number one. Number two, legislation. Zvese zvauri kuona izvi zvakonzereswa nekuti hakuna mutemo. So this is the enforcement of law. That is what? Legislation. And another point that we can put in place, or another measure that we can put in place in order to restore this ecosystem, is reforestation. Pakatemwa miti todzorera yedu. Then also chimwe chatogona kuita tati educational campaign, legislation, reforestation. What else zvatogona kuita in this scenario? Gully reclamation, kungofushira makomba. Gully reclamation. Was akatocherwa kudhara ngatifushire. Handitika? Then also, as you can see, mvura kwa kuchanaya, maybe togona kuitawo cloud seeding. Cloud seeding. Then also zvimwe zvinogona kutibatsira, it's actually community involvement. Kuinvolvawo ma-communities kuti apindewo into play. Vakapindawo nezvekuti muti wakadai haudyiwa, hautemwe, unoita munyama. So unonzi munyama tree in Masvingo. There we have what we call the munyama tree, using those indigenous knowledge systems. Like if you see that there is extinction of wildlife, we can actually put in place nyaya totems. Yekuti ukadya mutupo wako unopera mazino ese. Zvese izvo zvinogona kubatsira to restore ecosystem. Okay? And also in geography ecosystem, you must also know the types of soil. We have clay soil, sand soil, silt soils, and loam soils. Nema characteristics acho esayo unofana kumaziva. Wapedza kuziva izvozvo, unofana kuzozivawo atinoti ma-importance of soil. Ma-importance of what? Of soil, okay? Saka unofana kumaziva ese wayo, especially my importance of soil here in what? In Zimbabwe. Unofana kumaziva why is the soil important? For example, soil really important for agricultural production. Where we are going to obtain food, so where we are going to have food security, we are going to have growing cash crops, food crops, and also soil inobatsira to support my trees, right? And also inobatsira for water retention and quality, and the soil futi inobatsira for climate change mitigations, inobatsira for cultural and historical significance. Soil futi inobatsira for tingati chiko my importance of soil. I think does it togona kuita brick mold, kugadzira zvidhina, toita construction of houses, making mortar, tokwanisa kuzviita futi making clay pots, tokwanisa kuzviita futi using soil. Chimwe chatogona kuita chi, I think that's it. No, my importance of soil. So unofana kuziva zvese izvi in ecosystem. So I hope you assisted, guys. Let us move on to the next topic, which is mining. Okay, but before we go to mining, let us start by talking about agriculture. So we have some questions here. And the first question says, what are the characteristics of shifting cultivation? Shifting cultivation, unofana kuziva definition, what is it? Shifting cultivation, it is a type of subsistence farming where farmers, they cultivate a certain piece of land and they leave that land for 35 to 40 years. for the land to regain its fertility. Andika saka shifting cultivation kuti vanorima pana paobva 35 to 40 years vasati vadzoka voenda panotera 35 to 45 vasati vadzoka. Andika but apa tiri kubvunzwa ma-characteristics. How do you identify it? How do you know that this is shifting cultivation? Agriculture by definition is just growing of crops and rearing of animals for sale or for family consumption. Kati for sale or for family consumption, it means tine two types, major types of agriculture. Inonzi commercial agriculture ne inonzi subsistence agriculture. Saka here inonzi commercial agriculture, what we call commercial and subsistence. Saka commercial and subsistence agriculture. Commercial agriculture, this is growing of crops and rearing of animals for sale. And subsistence, this is growing of crops and rearing of animals for family consumption. Those are Saka kuno kuma examples e commercial ndo kunana cattle ranching, it is done for sale. Anditika cattle what ranching ndo kunana dairy farming ndo kunana horticulture ndo kunana irrigation farming ndo kune ma plantations here. Get the sense? Then kuno ku subsistence farming ndo kune ma example akaita sana subsistence atiri kutaura. Subsistence ndo kune inonzi nomadic pastoralism ndo pane settled sedentary farming. Settled farming. Saka ndo ma differences. So tine two major types of agriculture. Number one, tatinozichi commercial agriculture, growing of crops and rearing of animals for sale. But subsistence, this is growing of crops and rearing of animals for family consumption. My examples of commercial do under list time. They are my examples of commercial agriculture. It involves cattle ranching. What is cattle ranching? Cattle ranching, this is keeping of livestock for meat and meat products. So kungochengeta mombe dzenyama. Then inonzi dairy farming. This is keeping of cows for milk and milk products like yogurt. Kuchengeta mombe dzemukaka chete. And horticulture ndo panopindawo growing of flowers and stuff like that. Then irrigation farming, it is farming that involves use of irrigation water, kana kuti use of artificial water, kana kuti that involves application of artificial water to the plants. Then plantation, and my state. Mazimunda Marev, I'm going to talk about this one in detail. Because then kunana subsistence itateta ora subsistence tina shifting cultivation, shifting cultivation, nomadic pastoralism, settled sedentary farming. Let us now try to answer my characteristics of shifting cultivation. Tanzwisisa kuti vanhu vanenge vachibva apo voenda apo vachirima, vanenge vachitsvaka ma-grazing pastures, vanenge vachitsvaka ma-fertile land, vanenge vachitsvaka zvakasiyana siyana nema-good climatic conditions. Right, what are the characteristics? Ndinovaziva sei vanhu ava? How do I identify them? How do I identify them? So number one characteristic here shifting cultivation is that they grow crops for a short period of time, usually 3 to 4 years or less. Then we have to buy back. And also shifting cultivation, it involves movement from one place to another. Move from one place to another. So for you to get 5 marks, let us continue. Then another characteristic is that they use simple tools, they use family labor, they use ash as fertilizers. Those avanoita shifting cultivation, and also they actually do it for family consumption. Yeah, they do it for what? For family consumption. Low capital is needed. They use family labor. Do my characteristics a shifting cultivation. Next question. What are the disadvantages associated with this farming system? Kureva farming system vari kutaura apo ichi vari kutaura shifting cultivation. Saka ma disadvantage ekuti pavasvika they cut down my trees, kureva they cause deforestation. That's number one disadvantage. And vanokonzeresawo soil erosion. They also cause soil erosion. So we said deforestation, soil erosion, and also there is what can I say? It is troublesome to move all the time. They are being attacked by tsetse flies. And also they are also being attacked by my wild animals. Okay, I think those are the problems. Complete the diagram below by filling in the inputs, outputs you would expect on a commercial range. Commercial range ndo cattle range. Saka anonzi ma inputs, these are the things needed to start agriculture. Then my outputs, these are the products that you are going to obtain after agriculture. Then we have papa announce my processes. My processes, these are activities done to convert what we have, referring to the inputs, to get what we want, referring to the outputs. So my inputs, these are the things needed to start commercial ranching. We need land, obvious. We can't do this type of farming in the air. We need land. Number one. Number two, we need large capital. Can I go to high capital. Number three, we also need the skilled and unskilled labor. We also need the cattle breeds. We also need machinery. We also need the technical knowledge. The knowledge of doing commercial range. Then after having this, we are going to apply my processes, right? That is dosing ng'ombe dzacho, dipping ng'ombe dzacho, kana dzaita slaughtering, selling, marketing, what. Then after that, what are we going to obtain? We are going to obtain meat. All right. We are also going to obtain a capital. You're going to target the next move. We are also going to obtain let me say what can I say? My bones. Right? We are also going to obtain my animal skins. And number 6, we are also going to obtain what? My hooves. My hooves. Okay? So these are the things. Let us go and try to answer the next question. So any question, is usually common. Any question. So let me erase here. Right, inputs. These are the things needed to start agriculture processes, activities done to convert inputs into outputs. Then my outputs, these are the products, the final results. So kune ma inputs, processes and outputs anoapply kwese. Vakubvunza cattle ranching, vakubvunza plantation, dairy farming, as long as inputs, we need land, we need water, we need capital, we need labor, bashandi. You see, zvese zvino apply kwese, and pama processes we need land, or we need land preparation. Then also kana tichida kudiridza, that is watering, dipping kazvi zvemombe, kudzidhibhisa, dosing kazvi zvemombe futi, slaughtering kana zviri zvemombe futi, then zvese marketing, pese panoda marketing, pese panoda transporting, right? Saka zvino apply kwese, it's marketing, transporting, yeah, izvo apply kwese izvo, right? Then my outputs manje, we are going to obtain capital. Apa manje zvimwe zvakudependera kuti chii chatinacho, anditika vamwe vanowana miti kana vaita cattle ranching, vamwe vowanawo milk kana vaita dairy farming, others they obtain crops kana vaitawo shifting cultivation kana vaitawo plantation, anditi. So these are the things that you need to know before the exam. All right, so I'm trying to cover everything. Okay. All right, next question that we have, what was number what that we were answering? Answering number 5, okay. Right, what challenges have been faced by cattle ranchers in your country recently? Problems are faced by farmers in Zimbabwe. I'm going to give you the problems. As long the question is, what are the problems faced by farmers in Zimbabwe? Ningi, tobacco farmers, cattle ranchers, dairy farmers. These are the answers. As long as my challenges or my problems. Number 1, they are facing problem, a lack of knowledge. It's a problem. It's lack of knowledge. Then also poor rainfall. It's another challenge. Then also theft. It's another problem. Spread of disease is another problem. Shortage of vaccine, it's another problem. And also shortage of grazing land due to land invasion is another problem. What steps can be taken to increase the country's declining beef herd? So as you think, say to improve, to increase the country's declining beef herd. What are the problems do you think we can put in place? Obviously, number 1, it's educational campaign, because the decline is as a result of lack of knowledge. Then also another thing it's choosing the location of the cattle range carefully. That is by considering the climatic conditions in that area, and also giving loans to the farmers, giving loans to the farmers, and also choosing breeds that can adapt easily to the conditions in the range. And also government support is needed when it comes to the market price. Market prices for beef, and also to provide ready markets for these farmers. By doing so, we are going to increase country's beef production. Okay, so this is agriculture. Let me talk to you about plantation agriculture. Let me show you a picture of a plantation so that I can explain in detail. All right, so this is a plantation agriculture. As you can see, these are the pictures that I'm showing you right this minute. So this is a plantation. Okay, you need to see this. Right, So as you can see, the question can come in geography and ask you about the characteristics of plantation agriculture. How do you give the characteristics? Number one, you're going to see that they are monocultural. They are monocultural, which means they grow one type, of crop. One type of crop, right? And also another characteristic is that they use a large piece of land. As you can see, this is a large piece of land and they are growing one type of a crop. Another thing is that they are owned by government or TNCs. That's another characteristic. Chimwe chatogona kuziva nacho plantation agriculture is that they need large capital. Large capital is needed. They used hired labor. They employ both skilled and unskilled workers. And also another characteristic is that they are computerized. Iwaya plantation anengarichi computerized. They are computerized. They also use irrigation. These are the characteristics of plantation agriculture. Let us now talk about the advantages and disadvantages of plantation agriculture. So this is it. Okay, so this is another example of a plantation. So what are the advantages of having my plantations in Zimbabwe or my estates? Number one advantage of plantation is that they improve infrastructure. They improve the infrastructure of the area. For example, kutanga factory, okay? And also exportation of these products is also going to bring foreign currency in the country. And also there is going to be employment creation for the local people. And also my plantations are the ones that provide or produce raw materials for industrial development, which means, in other words, they promote industrialization. And also local people will gain more skills from the use of my machineries. Okay, and also they improve the standard of living for those employer. They also promote industrialization. Pane point ndakama kuma characteristics kuti they are always attached kuma outgrowers. Outgrowers vanhu vaya kuti muplantation sekuti tiri kuita nzimbe ivo vanobva varimawo mumaside ndo vanonzi outgrowers. Most of the plantations they are attached to outgrowers. Then let us now talk about my disadvantages. Right? Material is that they are monocultural, which led to soil erosion. One type of crop. For example, if you know, I don't know what is this according to you. This one, how do you call this? This one. Okay, so they grow one type of crop, right? And also they led to exploitation of labor, whereby my workers are poorly paid, especially my unskilled workers. They are poorly paid. And also this plantation need a lot of capital for it to start. And also my profits, they are exported to foreign countries. They had notices the repatriation of profits here. Repatriation of profits. But my profits are in mother country. For example, my plantations are they are foreign owned. So my profits and then also my plantations they focus more on cash crops rather than food crop, which will later cause the shortage of food in the country. Okay, so these are the advantages. No more questions on plantation. Right? In your community, the government want to set up a plantation. Give reasons for and against. Give reasons for and against. For and against. I got for. They're referring to the advantages of that project. and against, they are referring to the disadvantages. Don't worry, ndomabvunzira vanoita this question. Okay, then zvimwe zvaunofana kuziva on agriculture is actually problems anosangana nevarimi tataura. How to solve them? Let me just give you the solutions on how to solve my problems anosangana nevarimi. Tati panofana kuita educational campaign, getting loans from the banks, government support, provision of free inputs to the farmers, educational campaign, use of modern machinery, and use of hybrid seeds, use of irrigation schemes. Zvese zvondo zvakati ndo zvavanofana kuita kuimprove agriculture, especially in our country, Zimbabwe. Okay, so these are the questions anogona kuuya. Let me talk about other things that you need to know, like urban agriculture. Right, so urban agriculture, by definition, it refers to the practice of growing and producing food, plants, and other agricultural products within urban and peri-urban areas. And as you can see, this is it. Right? Let me show you some of the pictures. Urban agriculture. This is urban agriculture. Urban agriculture, you can see it. This is urban agriculture, right? Urban agriculture, just check closely. This is it. Growing of crops, food crops within the urban area. This is it. This one, it's urban agriculture. This one. This one, it's urban agriculture. Urban agriculture there, right? Urban agriculture. Urban agriculture. These are the pictures. Urban agriculture. And we have different types. Let me show you. We have the rooftop gardens, the community gardens, the vertical farming, urban farms, backyard gardening, hydroponics, and aquaponics. Let me show you the types. Okay, so just to see these pictures. Okay, this one, it's urban agriculture. It's it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Okay, urban agriculture there. This one, check it out. Urban agriculture. Growing of agricultural produce within urban areas. Urban agriculture being done there. Right, I think you now understand. Let us talk about the advantages and disadvantages of what we call urban agriculture. What do you think are the benefits and non-benefits of growing within urban area? Number one advantage is that it is going to increase food security, of course, and access to actually fresh fruits, and it is going to reduce transport costs, and job creation is going to be there, and is going to increase the economic of the country, and it improves air quality. It also enhances community engagement and social cohesion, educational opportunities for urban residents, reduce the urban waste through composting, and it is going to increase biodiversity. What about my disadvantages of having urban agriculture? All right, limited space and land availability, and also high initial investment cost, water scarcity, and management challenges. These are the problems, my disadvantages of urban agriculture. And soil contamination and pollution due to agriculture, and also competition with other urban land users. And another problem is actually pest and disease management challenges. Okay, So this is it. So how is the community going to benefit from urban agriculture? Obviously, the community is going to benefit because they are going to obtain fresh products, locally grown produce, and also it's going to improve their health and also nutrition and educational opportunities for children. They'll be able to learn instead of them traveling to the rural areas to see what you call farming. And what about the challenges and the limitations? Land tenure and ownership issues becomes a problem again, a big challenge for urban agricultural farmers. Okay, water access and management, soil quality and contamination, climate and weather variability, and urban planning imaitombo-tendera urban agriculture at all. Muno muZimbabwe yakatanga 2008 pakaita nzara papa amene kuti vari kunyora dhese mamazvarwa here. Okay, so guys, on agriculture, I think we tried to cover a lot of things. Let me now try to talk about population and settlement. Okay, population and settlement. So this is either saying study the photograph below showing part of the central business district. Let me just show you a clear picture because this one is not clear. So this is the picture for Harare CBD, and the question was asking you to give the characteristics of this CBD. So you can see that there are tall buildings. You can't deny that. Tall buildings here, tall buildings, tall buildings, tall buildings, tall buildings. Okay, and there is absence of manufacturing industry, as you can see. There is also absence of tall trees. There is also vertical zoning, right? Vertical zoning of the building, and also CBD. It is the center, the nucleus of the city. As you can see, kunema the cars traveling, traffic lights, and other things. Okay. So what transport problems are usually associated with the central business district in most urban centers? Ma transport problems are not gonna kuvapo. It's actually traffic congestion, noise pollution, air pollution, ma accidents, non-working traffic lights, ma robots high pedestrian flow or high pedestrian traffic, delays due to congestion, then also my shortage of parking space in urban, and all my problems are no one's one in urban areas. And also another problem is one-way streets, paid parking zones. All those things are problems. Those are problems. Okay, right. Suggest the measures taken by local authorities to solve the problem stated in above 5 marks. So ndopakaisa one-way streets, paid parking zones, ma packets, traffic lights they put in place, ma pedestrian ma bridges like the footbridge, river joiner seat there, and shopping malls, and also decentralization kuti vanhu vaite vashoma in the CBD. These are some of the functions from the CBD vaisa kune mamwe towns. Okay, all right. And they also constructed my ring roads. All right, item 3. Okay, I think it's clear there. Then let's go to the next question. Has urban sprawl is a major problem faced by most large cities in the developing world? Suggest problems created by urban sprawl and recommend measures local authorities should take to solve these problems. Right? In the urban sprawl, it actually refers to uncontrollable growth and expansion of urban areas. Uncontrollable growth and expansion of urban areas. So Palapa suggest the problems caused, okay, suggest problems created by urban sprawl, meaning created by uncontrollable growth of what? Of urban areas. What are the problems? Okay, so my problems obviously is environmental degradation, urban decay, and also increased healthcare costs nezvimwe zvakangodaro daro. Noda kuinvolve also destruction of farming lands. Noda kutaura nyaya increased pollution. You can also talk about deforestation and land degradation. And my measure that you can put in place to actually deal with this problem is to build my high-rise buildings, okay, and also increase cost of land to reduce the demand for housing in the CBD, and also establishment of my new towns or my dormitory towns. Okay. Next question. Draw diagrams to illustrate radial and linear settlements. Radial and linear settlements. On this one, let me just show you. So you can see this is the radial and this one is linear. Linear vanenge vachimuvha following line of communication. In this case vakati it's a road. Inogona kuita road or a river. Saka vanhu vanenge vachigara vakaita line kudai. Vachigara vakaita line kudai. Following line of communication, in this case, which is a river. Then also paradial, they are radiating from the central point, which can be the shopping center, maybe Panichkoro, or so on. Okay. So my questions are not gonna kubvunzwa on settlement. Zvimwe zvavanogona kubvunza on settlement is what we call urbanization. Urbanization, it means the increase in the number of people staying in urban areas. Okay? So unofanira kuzvinzwisa izvozvo kuti what are the causes of urbanization? Why vanhu vakawanda vachimhanyira kuma urban areas? And what are the effects? And also unofanira kuisa into consideration zvinhu zvakawanda mashandy towns, development of shanty towns and stuff like that. Let me just go through it. So in the settlement, unofana kugona kupa the difference. You should be able to give the difference between site of a settlement and situation of a settlement. Site of a settlement refers to where the settlement is located. Where the settlement is located. That's what we call site. Okay. Then we have what we call situation of a settlement. Situation of a settlement, we are not talking about the proximity or nearness of the settlement in relation to other settlements. The proximity or nearness of settlement in relation to other settlements. The relationship between the settlement and its surrounding or its environment. Do you attribute situation of a settlement? Settlement is a dwelling place where people live. Okay? A dwelling place where people live. Any place where people live. It's a settlement. They are talking about it can be a hamlet, it can be a village, it can be a town, it can be a city. We also talked about the settlement hierarchy. Tikati isusu settlement hierarchy, we are referring to the arrangements of settlements according to their importance. Arrangement of settlements according to their importance. So let me show you the settlement hierarchy. So please listen to me. What did I say? I said settlement hierarchy. It refers to the arrangement of settlements, okay, according to population size and the number of functions. So don't list from smaller settlements. To a larger what? Settlement. So the smallest settlement, it is called an isolated place. From the isolated place here, the individual houses typically for one family, e.g. a farmhouse. Hakuna kana any service iriko. right? From there, we are going to have what you call a hamlet, right? A hamlet typically less than 100 people with no services, although possibly a post box. Saka e hamlet ndo ine vanhu less than 100. From there, we are going to have a village, right? A village population is typically in hundreds to thousands, okay? Fewer services they are there here, like a shop, a village, or a primary school. No, no, you are there. Then from a village, we are going now to a town in a population of 1,000 to 20,000 with the chain stores, for example, Boots, along with a hospital is there, sports center, and a secondary school is also found there. Then from there, we have what you call a city. A city, these settlements can be in excess of 100,000. Can have 100,000 population. And the cities have large shopping centers, railway, they are there, railway station, theaters, possibly an airport can be there. For example, in Mashingo is there. Then typically, a population of several millions. This is a conversion. Typically a population of several million people with many, e.g., government offices, banking, my headquarters, museum is there, art galleries, universities, they are there. Ndo inonzi a conurbation. Saka iwo kanzi draw diagram showing settlement diagram, unofana kutoziya chese ichi, which members of Butanga isolated hamlet, village, town, city, conurbation. Then you are done. You get this sense? Then also, zvimwe zvaunofana kuziya pa settlement is to actually know the factors that affect development of a settlement or location of a settlement. Zvinhu zvinokunoita kuti vanhu vatize kugara kana kuti vade kugara ipapo. Number one, it's water supply. Pane mvura yakawanda, where there is enough water supply, people they want to live in those areas, and they also check natural resources. People they want to stay in areas where there is access to natural resources, and also accessibility to transport. They also want to stay in areas where they can actually go there with their vehicles and their transport, okay? And also they want to stay in areas where there is a ready market, access to market, where there is raw materials for them to use maybe in their work, and also in areas where there is much social services, where there is room for expansion, defense, and where they own the land. Those are factors where I'm going to affect the development of a location. Then also another thing, chaunofana kuziya in settlement geography is to understand what we call what do I call it? Urbanization. Yeah. Urbanization is whatever increase in the number of people staying in urban areas, increase in the number of people staying in urban in urban areas. What is causing an increase in the number of people staying in urban areas? You need to reason, guys. We are talking about the reasons behind what do you call it, behind rural to urban migration. Why people they want to stay in urban areas? Maybe because they are looking for employment, maybe because they are looking for better educational services, maybe they are looking for better health facilities, maybe they are looking for better standards of living, maybe they are looking for, what do you call it, maybe they are being attracted by bright city lights, tower lights, and also they want to be close to the land of opportunities, and also others they are seeking marriage prospects. Vasikana vazhinji vanobva kumusha vachitsvaka vakomana kuroora kumadhorobha, so better marriage prospects, and also zvimwe zvavanenge vachitsvaka. They are looking for entertainment, yeah. So those are the reasons zvekuita kuti vanhu vawedzere mumaurban, ndozvekukonzera inonzi urbanization. Right, what are the problems of urbanization? Vanhu vazara muno muHarare vauya vakaungana. What are the problems, man? Taakuona kuti kwakuchiitika overpopulation, taakuona muno muHarare, taakuona kuti maakuchiitika spread of diseases, prostitution, unemployment, shortage of transport, chimwe traffic congestion, chimwewo shortage of food and other things, pressure on hospitals. What about my effects? Urbanization ku source area kurova kwabviwa to the sending area kumusha kunosarawo kusinawo manpower. There's going to be lack of manpower. There is going to be underdevelopment. There is going to be rural insecurity as a result of urbanization. How do we reduce urbanization? Unofana kuziva ma solutions. Kana pachishota transport, let us introduce mazupco buses. Kana iri nyaya unemployment, let us open more industries. Let us encourage young ones to be entrepreneurs. And kana iri nyaya ye theft, ngati increase the police patrol, yema crimes, police patrol again, zvese zvinofana kuiswa into place. And also decentralization of industries. Kutora ma industries tomaendesawo kumusha kudevelop ma growth points kuti vanhu vangu kuHarare. Andika tapedza urbanization. Zvimwe zvanofanira kuziva ndeanonzi mashandy towns. Mashandy towns. What are the shandy towns? Mashandy towns, these are illegal settlements with no real organization or planning created by poor people. No anonzi mashandy towns. And those poor people, they cannot afford decent accommodation. Maybe you don't know anonzi mashandy towns. Let me just show you. So these are shanty towns. These are illegal settlements with no real organization or planning created by poor people who cannot afford decent houses. So check it. You can see. Okay. These are shanty towns. Let me show you another picture again. So you can see these are shanty towns. Just to check it out. You can see there is no proper planning. There is no real organization for this. These are shanty towns. And these are illegal structures, illegal settlements built by poor people who cannot afford decent houses. So we are going to learn a lot about these structures, okay? So, what are the questions to expect on shanty towns? Shanty towns, you must know that they have, these are characteristics. They have poor roads. As you can see, there's no road there. Poor roads. Okay? Poor roads, poor sanitation, and also unclean water. Okay? And also my houses are here. They are made of plastic shakes. As you can see, this one. Made of plastic shakes. Wood, this one. Old metal drums. You can check it out. And also corrugated iron sheets. For example, in Hopley, this is a picture for Hopley. Okay, let me show you. It's actually Hopley here. Let me show you. I'm sorry for those who are staying in Hopley. Let us learn about your place. All right. This is Hopley. This one. You can see the name here. Hopley Farm. Hopley Farm Settlement. This one. So these are examples where you can find shanty settlements. Okay, so let us learn a lot about these shanty settlements. I want to show you something here. I want to teach you, looking at this one. They are made up of old corrugated iron sheets. Okay, all right. Shanty towns, if you check very closely, you are going to see that the government is actually against shanty towns. Why the government is against shanty towns? Number one, they are havens or hiding places for notorious criminals. And also in these shanty towns here, prostitution is serious. That's why the government is against the development of shantytowns, because prostitution is serious, and that prostitution is going to lead to what they call spread of sexually transmitted infections and HIV, and also it causes deforestation because there is no electricity here. There is also going to be cultural erosion. Vanhu vachatodzidza hunhu usiwo, baba mwana na sisi na mukoma vakura. So you're going to see that there's going to be cultural what? Erosion. Okay, and also these structures, they are easily affected by bad weather, for example cyclone. That's why the government of Zimbabwe is against the development of these shanty towns. It's against the development of shanty towns. And also another question I'm going to want, why would you support the existence of shanty towns? But the government is not in support of development of shanty towns. That's why they are putting in place Operation Mramba China. Right? Why you are in support of shanty towns? Maybe it's because they provide shelter for the poor. It stimulates the government to develop more houses for the people. It's a sign these houses are cheaper compared to high rent house charged in proper houses. That's why maybe you are in support of shanty towns. And also another term unofana uziya in geography settlement, unofana uziya urban sphere of influence. Urban sphere of influence refers to an area which is serviced or provided with goods and services by an urban area. And in my name's eye, it can be called a catchment area, it can be called an urban field, it can be called a hinterland or a service area. Okay, all right. I think we are done with that. Then we talked about urban growth. Urban growth is the physical expansion of cities and towns into surrounding rural areas. Urban growth, physical expansion of cities into surrounding rural areas. And yangoti siyane mbichana ne inonzi urban sprawl. Urban sprawl is the expansion of cities and towns into surrounding areas checked. But the physical expansion is urban growth, but expansion usingamention name rekuti, usingamention word rekuti physical. Inongonzi expansion of cities and towns into rural areas. Inongonzi urban sprawl. But the physical expansion of cities and towns into surrounding rural areas, that's what we call urban growth. So on settlement, you are done. Let's now talk about population. So on population, the first question that we have, it says, define population migration. When I'm talking about population migration, we are referring to the movement of people from one place to another. One place to another, either for a particular purpose or for permanent. Okay, for temporary or for permanent. You can move everyone from one place to another. They are not population migration. Unofana types of migration. Tinenenzi brain drain. Brain drain, it is a migration of skilled personnel, especially to other countries looking for greener pastures. We have what we call voluntary migration. It is the movement of people from one place to another willingly. And we have involuntary forced migration. It is movement of people from one place to another due to harsh conditions. Okay, mainly because they don't have option, but they must migrate. Okay, and also we have what we call commuting. This is migration in Etwanema workers from home to work and from work to home. Okay, then we have causes of migration. We have pull factors and push factors. Pull factors, these are the things that attract the people so that they want to migrate. And push factors, these are the things that force the people to migrate. For example, pull factors, we have better are looking for greener pastures. We have better educational facilities. We have better health facilities. We have attracted by bright city lights. We have also better marriage prospects. Okay. Then my push factors. These are the things for someone like quite a drought, like quite a wars, like quite what else, political persecution, people kana kuti kwaitika nzara, famine, unotofana kutoti utobva munyika. Those are push factors. Then next question, what are the causes of high volumes of population movement from rural to urban? Ndoma causes of urbanization atabva kutaura aya. So just go there. Then describe the effects caused by population movements from rural to urban areas in the receiving area. Ndo atapedza kutaura maproblem ari kusangana ne-urban area kuti kozoita overpopulation, spread of disease, prostitution, unemployment, air pollution, shortage of houses, shortage of food, zvakangodaro zvese izvozvo. Start the table below which shows birth rate, death rate and life expectancy for 4 countries. The picture is not clear. Calculate. The picture is not clear here. Okay, but let me just say, for birth rate, death rate and life expectancy, what you need to know apa manje ndezvekuti what is birth rate. Ndozvaunofanira kuziva. What is what? Birth rate. What are the causes of a high birth rate? Ukaziva izvozvo, done. You get the sense? Ukangoziva izvozvo, done. So birth rate is the number of births per 1,000 people over total population in a given country. Ndo inonzi birth rate. Then death rate is the number of deaths per 1,000 people over total population in a given area. Then life expectancy, it refers to the number of years a person is expected to live in a certain region. Zvosiyana kuti uri kupi. Okay? So zvese zvinofanira kuziva kuti panogona kuva ne-high birth rate kuva nevana vari kuzvarwa vakawandisa, koita high birth rate vanhu vari kufa vakawandisa, koita life expectancy vanhu vakunyanya kurarama vamwe vakurarama makore mashoma. Handitika? So what are the causes of birth rate? Ma-causes of high birth rate zvikuita kuti vanhu vanyanya kuzvarwa vakawanda ndo ata kuti ma-causes of high birth rate. Number 1 is the religious beliefs. If you check those are the Joan Marange people, they encourage polygamy, and as a result they're increasing high birth rate. And also another thing is poor education leading to reduced access to family planning methods. Vanhu vasina kudzidza vanozoita vana vakati wandei. And also ignorance of birth control measures. Those zviri kukonzeresa ma-high birth rate. Chimwe chiri kukonzeresa high birth rate is the need for a boy child. Nanga chikoti ndokuramba ndichizvara kusvika ndaita mwana mukomana. Handitika? And also the fact that children are being regarded as a source of labor. Ukaenda kune dzimwe nzvimbo vanoti kana ukazvara vana vakawanda vanozokubatsira mumunda nekuita sei zvakawanda vanhu. Okay? And also then chimwe futi chiri kukonzeresa izvozvo it's my early marriages. Ndo zviri kukonzeresa high birth rate. And chimwe chinogona kukonzeresa futi it's kusasununguka kwevanhukadzi. Handitika? Oppression of women. Because dai papa nerusununguko rwemadzimai vaikwanisa kumira kuti ina ndite vana 10, ndoita vana 2, ndoita mwana 1. Handiti? But ike zvino tikuona kuti kune dzimwe nyika birth rate iri kudzikira. What is causing decline in birth rate? Chiri kukonzeresa decline in birth rate maybe inyaya yekuti kwava nema-higher levels of education, kwavawo use of ma-family plannings like ma-condoms, and also kwavawo ne-emancipation of woman, rusununguko rwemadzimai, and also maybe the country is following China's policy of one child, right? Then also death rates. What are the causes of high death rates? what are the causes of low death rate. Nofana kuziva kuti vanhu kana vakanyanya kufa, what are the causes? Maybe mawars, kana vanhu vakanyanya kufa, poor health facilities, poverty inoita kuti vanhu vakasire kufa. Handitika zvese izvozvo izvo. Then also causes of low death rate ndo opposite kwekwaone better diet, better standard of living, better health facilities and other things. Right, then natural increase in population. Natural increase, what is it? It is the difference between birth rate and death rate. The difference between birth rate and... So you can check out this question. You can suggest reasons for the difference in birth and death rates between Japan and Ethiopia. Ziva kuti Japan is a more economically developed country, and Ethiopia it's less economically developed country. So more economically developed countries sana Japan ane low death rate akunyofhiwa, ane low birth rate futi akunyanyozvariwa. So if you check the two countries, this one is a poor country, this one is a rich country. So medics more economically developed countries ndo ane low death rate nekuda kwekuti kune better health facilities, kune better diet, kune let me say higher standards of living, handitika. Then also kuno kufuti kuma medics ikoko kune low birth rate because kune higher levels of education, kune emancipation of women, kune use of contraceptives, and also cultural beliefs like zvavanogona kuita vanogona adopta China's policy of one child. Then kuno kunana Ethiopia kuma less economically developed ndo pavanogona kuisawo nyika yakwa Zimbabwe. Okay, vanhu kune high birth rate ne high death rate, anava kuzvara wakawandisa, vanhu vachifa vakawandisa nekuda kwemareasons api andataura kudhara on the causes of high birth rate and the causes of high death rate. With reference to the information on the table, explain the differences in the quality of life between the less economically developed countries and more economically developed countries. Less economically developed countries, obviously quality of life is poor, is very very poor, because inyika dziri kutosimukawo, but more economically dzakatosimuka kudhara, saka quality of life inenge iri high. Handitika. So that's it guys, this marked the end of our revision today. So I wanted to go and read these topics. Mamma topics ndakama upload kudhara akaita say weather and climate, mine ndakaiuploada, environmental management ndakaiteacha vanhu. So go and study all those videos andakakupai kudhara, and also this one. Okay, hope you are seated. If you are new on this channel, make sure you subscribe, like, and also share our videos. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like the video and also don't forget to comment. I want to see your comments guys. Is this video helpful to you? Let me know.